Welcome, one and all. We have skipped the intro because we did this once already. But welcome to Strange Glow Video on the Active Violence channel.
Yeah, welcome back to the second attempt at this. We had a couple technical difficulties, so thanks for rejoining. If you're still there, we appreciate your patience.
Yeah, so we were just kind of chatting about Shout Factory and Groove and all that beforehand. Anyway, nobody's gonna miss out on that. What else we got? We got Scream 7. I was gonna say.
Yeah, we got some news and some trailers to talk about. So,
Scream 7. We've kind of exhausted I think at this point, the talk about how we feel about Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega leaving. But it is what sours me on like going into that movie. So it's like hard to not talk about it still. Because I watched that trailer and I'm like, okay, parts of this I see what you're doing, but I like parts of it I see what you're doing, and I'm just kind of like cringing at. That's kind of how I feel with some of these later Scream movies, but like 4 is my favorite sequel.
yeah, I think 4 is unique enough. I mean, 2 is okay, 3 is entertaining, but 4 is pretty solid. So, I mean, I think that was like kind of a return to form, you would say. I mean, they also waited a few years before they did that one.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a tricky
years.
franchise. Yeah, it's a tricky franchise because you don't have an undead villain. You just have like the voice changer and costume. So that kind of creates some things there.
Well, let's talk about that because the voice changer thing, they've kind of been mimicking the Scream movies as they go on here. Scream 5, they just called Scream in 2022, and it had a lot to do with the original Scream movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the second one they did was in New York, which is a different location. It's where they're going to college. Same with Scream 2. It did not take place in the normal town, even though it was another small town that I don't know, may as well have been the same town, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
But like as a kid watching Scream 2, I never realized it was even a different town. I thought she was going to college. You know what I mean? Like it looks borderline the same. So, I mean, Scream 3 obviously takes place in Hollywood. So then 4 is back in the town, Woodsboro. 5 is Woodsboro. 6 is New York City. And so this one is like potentially taking place where Sydney now lives and Woodsboro.
Yeah, there's some kind of connection there, and I can't imagine that they're going to have Sydney living in there again. But they're also showing like the Scream house is like a Airbnb type of a situation. So
which it has been in reality. So I see what they're doing with that. It's interesting.
Yeah, that is a fascinating concept. So there's some stuff here that like has me almost excited, and there's some stuff in this trailer that I'm just like, okay, well, I guess we'll see. But I'm really not amped up for this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna see it just because it's Scream, but I'm not like seeing this trailer and being like, oh my God. And where they're trying to get you is the Matthew Lillard thing, right? That's what they're trying to get us hooked with because like, oh, well, we've got him back. But I mean, to me, that almost seems desperate at this point.
It's also a double-edged sword because put Matthew Lillard in this movie. Option number 1, he's the killer or one of the killers.
Again, yeah.
And it's very obvious because you've casted him. You told everybody you casted him before you even started shooting the movie instead of trying to keep it a secret like you should have done if he was actually going to be the killer. So, to me, that's kind of like moot. Like, if I go in there and he ends up just being the killer, you have to have some other twists in there to make that interesting, which they could do. I don't know what they could be, but, like, I don't know if they would be good either. And then you have, like, option 2. Maybe he's more of just a mastermind, or he's manipulating people into killing. And he's not doing it himself. That'd be a little more interesting. than him just simply being the killer. You can't
Yeah.
have one of the new. You can't have like at this point, right now at this point, you cannot have Courtney Cox say become a killer. You could have in the last movie, but you can't at this point because I Know What You Did Last Summer just did that with Freddie Prinze Jr. and everybody else is too late now.
Yeah, and obviously they showed us that it's Sid. It's her daughter in this, and so like, is
Which, by
her
the way,
daughter back in Woodsboro, or like what the hell's going on with that?
when did you last watch the trailer?
A couple minutes ago.
Oh, okay, because there are 2 Ghostbusters in this movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
next to each
McKenna
other.
Grace.
They're both the friends
Yep.
of Sydney's daughter.
And Celeste O'Connell. So
The friends of Tatum, which is her daughter's name, which is fun.
yeah.
My girlfriend's name.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I'm excited about the casting of this movie. I think that looks interesting, but story-wise, I'm a little worried, you know? I just don't think there's an easy way to get around that.
So you also have to consider they didn't just bring back Matthew Lillard. So, Skeet Ulrich was brought back in the last 2 movies.
Mhm.
Are they going to bring the third option is Matthew Lillard is like a vision or is haunting somebody, sort of like Billy Loomis. Now, I say haunting, obviously he's a vision and she's crazy. Like, he's not actually there. Because it's Scream.
Yeah.
It's somewhat grounded in reality, or tries to be. So to do that again would just be boring, and that was my least favorite part of those movies, to be perfectly honest. Like, that was why I was so hard on Scream 5 the first time around, but like Jack Quaid makes that movie, and Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera, they're great in that. But
honestly, they could have cut all that out and just had that be a plot point without having any kind of flashbacks or like making her look like she's borderline schizophrenic or whatever else. Because to me, that drastically took away from the stories being grounded in some sort of reality.
right,
Like
it
you've
just
got
made
this
it.
character,
Yeah, it felt like
and
other
it,
movies, not Scream movies.
yeah, for sure, it felt out of place.
And so they've also cast the guy who played Roman, the killer in Scream 3. They've cast him as well. And my theory
Okay.
behind all of this is, and this could lead to an option 4, but we'll start with just this.
Okay.
The voice changer thing is going to be back from 3 because of AI voice technology. So AI is going to play a part in some of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually makes sense and is
think
realistic now for somebody to have some sort of device that they have made that'll change their voice into other people's, because we can do that now in real time. People do it on games. So
oh yeah,
it's
for sure.
realistic now as it wasn't when Scream 3 happened. So when they do it now, the only issue that is okay, so is Matthew Lillard just a voice in this movie? They wouldn't bring him back to just do that. They wouldn't announce him just to be a voice, because then they would just let him be just a voice. He would have done a day in the studio, a recording studio, and that's it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have him trying to hype this up, right? They
Right.
wouldn't be having him do all this publicity if he just did a voice bit. So,
But I do think that will come into play, and that's probably why Roman was cast. Like, I don't think Roman's alive too, unless they're like, Roman and Stu are back and they're the killers again together because they, with Scream 3 retcon Scream 1 and made it so Roman influenced them to do what they did.
yeah, I mean, there's that possible angle, and I would say that's the most likely angle if those two are going to be bad guys in this, or they're going to try to have this be like these two are institutionalized somewhere, even though that's not really a fucking thing like it used to be. You just can't do that to people, unless they're.
There's other options too. The 2 kids who are coming back from Scream 5 and 6. Randy's nephews, niece or whatever, the twins, they're coming back for this movie.
Oh, okay.
They were in the trailer, so they could end up being killers in this movie because they've not done anything like that yet. But honestly, it's just Kevin Williamson's back, right? And he's directing for the first time since Wes Craven is gone. So, on one hand, yeah, I'm excited for that. Sure. He did Scream 2, 1, 2, and 4, and he did the original draft for Scream 3, which I believe had Matthew Lillard returning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Just interesting. Don't know what they're gonna do, and I don't know if I like it. I have mixed feelings on how they went about making the movie. Marco Beltrame's back doing the score, though. That's a positive as well.
The only thing I'm hoping from this movie, right,
Oh, David
is that they
Arquette has
don't
been
fuck up
cast
the.
again.
Yeah, I'm
Voice
just hoping they
changer.
don't fuck up the alternative to bring. Yeah, well, to bring back the other characters, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I hope they're not
obviously,
going that full route.
I think we're just going to hear voices of the characters from 1 and 3 mostly.
Well, and are they going to try to do flashbacks or like what? Like, that's kind of one of the things I'm the most worried about is them doing some like cheesy flashbacks. So,
I don't think so. I I would hope not. Like, if Matthew Lillard's alive, I don't need to see how he survived and, like, oh, literally flashback to that night and, oh, this is how he survived. Like, nah, I'm good. You can just throw in some dialogue about that.
yeah, but I got a feeling that's what they're going to try to do, though, which is not ideal, I guess I could say.
Yeah. Well, also,
So,
I don't know what's going on in that Airbnb, but usually the kills are a little more plotted out and careful. This just seems like you're killing random people here. Like, those people are not necessarily tied in with the Woodsboro. They're in the house, sure, but people who were tied in with it, would they
yeah, but
stay
are
there
we going
for
to
fun?
find out? No. And so to me, like, that's the thing. Like, why would you be killing random guests at this place?
Probably just for publicity and attention
You
to
know what I
start.
mean?
That's probably the first kill of the movie, to be honest, is would be my guess. Or at
Yeah,
least
I'm
maybe.
assuming that's an opening sequence or something to that
Well, that's
nature.
the thing. They typically start these movies with phone calls. How does Scream 6 even start? It's been a minute since I watched it, but that one also starts with a phone call, but it's the guy trying to find the girl on the date. And it
Yeah.
turns out, like, actually, really, Scream 6 and Scream 4 have the best intros besides the original Scream, because after that, they're just kind of referencing that and playing on it. But Scream 4 did like a movie within a movie within a movie, and it felt
Hmm.
like a scary movie gag almost. And then Scream 6 did that opening where then they show the killer. This guy's planning to be his own ghost face, but then, yeah.
That's just where I'm at with it. And
Yeah.
I love Matthew Lillard too. And like, I'm like,
Yeah, that's the
it's
thing.
like, okay, I'm excited to see, you know,
I also love
but
Matthew
I've
Lillard,
been
but
burned before by movies.
yeah, I'm as of right now, the movie I'm most excited for to come out is Silent Night, Deadly Night next month, December 12th. I'm going to be pretty soon, actually. I'm going to start getting to those. I just tonight finished my review of season 1 of Stranger Things. It's going to come out tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't started my rewatch yet. I need to.
Yeah, I'm already on season 3
I'm
for the
I'm
rewatch.
I'm hyped for Running Man though, man. Running Man's this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's this weekend.
So,
That should be good. I gotta figure
yep.
out a way to
So
see that.
that's on my list of things to do
Also, just Edgar
this
Wright,
weekend
man.
is to
Like, there's
watch
so many
that.
things about that, and I haven't had enough time to say like I love Glenn Powell. I haven't seen him in enough stuff. I like him. Okay, he gives me a little bit of a vibe. Like I feel like I could find out like he has really nasty political takes, but like for now, I don't know enough, so I'm just gonna say I like him.
Yeah, that would be the main concern. Like he's good in Top Gun Maverick as the villain, and then he's good in Twisters, and then
I've seen him
um
pop up in some other stuff here and there. Like I haven't
yeah, he's
actually
been in a few
watched.
other things, and like
He was in a romantic comedy
he
on
was
Netflix or something.
yeah. So I think he'll do a good job in the role based on him being the lead man in Twisters and seeing what he could do in Top Gun for this type of role, right? Kind of a
That's the
modern
thing.
action guy that's
I was about to say he's the closest example to like a new emerging actor who's doing action movies, and they're not necessarily like this guy isn't out there necessarily doing all these crazy stunts, but he did fly in those planes in Top Gun. Like, that happened. So,
Yeah, I mean, if you worked with Tom Cruise on that, like there's some level there, and if the new movie follows the book, there's some should be some pretty interesting sequences for him to be in as far as stunts go, whether or not he did it himself or
right. Well, that's the thing is
had
Edgar Wright
somebody
shooting
else.
this too, man. It's gonna look so crazy. I can't wait to see
Yeah,
just the production and everything. It's gonna be a wild movie, and it gives me a reason to go
for
back
sure.
and watch the old one and talk about that.
Yeah, that old one is a movie. I enjoy it, but it's not necessarily my favorite. Right? I think there's way better Schwarzenegger films to watch, in my opinion. But it's interesting.
See, for me, there's several different types of Schwarzenegger movies, and I did a whole live
Mhm.
episode one time just talking about all the Schwarzenegger. I went down the list and talked about every single one that I had seen, and there's basically like he's just like a military commando badass movie, like Commando and Predator, and
Yeah,
those types. Even almost the Terminator movies where he's kind of just brooding, like that was obviously a little bit earlier on. That's what blew him up was the first Terminator, really, in terms of acting.
hmm
And then he has like just the rest of his action roles where he started doing comedy roles too and everything. But for me, it's the actiony sci-fi roles, like Total Recall, Running Man. Um, isn't there like another one or two? Yeah, and then
I
like the
fucking
ones
love Last Action Hero. So, like to
Last
me,
Action
Last Action
Hero
Hero
is kind of
combines
sci-fi-ish too.
everything.
Yeah.
hmm
End of Days. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, that's actually a really good movie. I enjoy that one quite a bit. I saw that in
Yeah.
theaters when it came out.
I don't think it's like super great, but it's like, oh, this is a little underrated. It's fun just to see like Schwarzenegger fucking around in New York City fighting the devil.
Well, I was gonna say, seeing him in something a little bit paranormal, more so like folklore than sci-fi, I guess you'd almost say for that one.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
like,
that was interesting. It felt fresh for his acting at the time.
well, it's like action horror, and
hmm
you can combine that one with it makes a good pairing, like versus with Devil's Advocate with Keanu and Pacino.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does.
Basically, like Devil is white man in New York City. Al Pacino's considered white, right? He's Italian.
Italian, yeah.
Italian's considered white in 2025. Sometime after World War II, they were like, "We're white now." Casual racism.
I'm not gonna. I was gonna say I'm not gonna go that route, but go for it. I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's
Yeah,
on
you
you,
know what I
not
mean.
me. Yeah. So
So that's Running Man, and then Stranger Things. So it's
Stranger
been
Things
going
is coming right up.
quite a while now. 2016 of the summer was when it premiered. So we're at 9.5 years, and it's
Yeah,
one
I
of those
mean,
things where it does
literally
not
all
feel
those.
like it's been that long for me because I was already a fully fledged adult when it came out. I can imagine how long it feels for these kids, but like for me, it feels like this came out like 5 years ago, bro. Season 1.
The vibe for me on that is I saw on Reddit earlier someone posting about how crazy it was that like they grew up with this series, basically meaning they're the same age as the kids when the first season came out. And now they're growing up with the show. And it's like, man, that's a fascinating concept. Like that's a good series to grow up to. But yeah, to your point, I've been a
Well,
grown up since it was out. So
I started growing up when the first Harry Potter came out. Like I was like right at the same age as Harry Potter when the first one came out.
okay.
So as they started
Yeah.
coming out, though, I started to not give a fuck because I was a teenager and I was too cool for Harry Potter.
Yeah, but Stranger Things has that vibe that I think is
Yeah, it's a little
it's
more
captured
universal.
everyone's imagination, I would say. Like wizards, yeah, but like scary monsters and government, like all the elements that like fit in this show, like whether you're a conspiracy theorist or whether you like this or that, like there's something in Stranger Things that works for you.
Well,
Speaking of
yeah.
which, out of the Stranger Things, I did pick up the a little patch at Target the other day. So
Oh, nice. I did a video that released today on the Stranger Things physical media, and I showed off the season 1 Blu-ray release I have. You have that, right?
Yes, I do. I have those over behind me. I've got season 1 and season 2.
Oh, you have season 2 as well?
Oh hell yeah, I got that
Because
as
that
soon
one's
as it
worth a
came
lot
out.
of money now, and well, at least like $50 to $100, depending on what day of the week it is.
Okay.
That one's a lot harder to find just because they made less by that time, and they didn't make any for seasons 3 or 4. I kind of went over this in my video, but I actually have, like, Walmart a few years ago was in trouble for selling a bootleg of season 3 or like a 1 through 4 collection. Amazon has them. Like, you can find everybody making bootlegs of these things because they aren't actually releasing them.
Yeah.
And I can understand at this point what if I was running Netflix, the smart thing to do would be not release them until you're done with the series and then release it as a box set.
Yeah, and go back to that original box set style and just have that be available, right? Kind of follow that VHS theme.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You need to release 3, 4, and 5 in the box sets by themselves. Make 1 and 2, potentially do new runs of those as well. And then just have like a new box set.
Yeah.
So, because I imagine they would do
Of
like one
everything.
of those steelbook box sets of everything. Because I don't honestly think they're going to go back
Yeah.
and do the VHS style again as much as I liked it.
Yeah, you're probably right on that. I mean, if they haven't ever done a second release of that,
They did 4K releases of those two, but I never saw them.
yeah, I never saw them anywhere.
They looked different, but they still had the VHS aesthetic. It was like a different style, though. Like, you can find pictures of it online.
Did those come out when they originally released then, or were those a later release?
So I can't recall the exact dates, but October 17th, I want to say, of 2017, which is like right around when season 2 premiered, is when that season 1 box set came out at Target exclusive.
Yeah.
And then a year later in 2018, well, actually, then a month later in November of 2017, the 4K dropped. The following year, the 4K and Blu-ray for season 2 dropped at the same time. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just hoping to do a proper release of it all. That's what I want. You know, like I like that I have 1 and 2 right now, but honestly, I'd rather just get something that collects everything.
All right,
Make
I'm not
it
going to get
easier.
rid of the season 1, but the thing is, it's so frustrating because season 1 is worth like less than $5 on the
Yeah, I mean,
Blu-ray
it was
because there were so many of them printed, and then season 2 they printed so few that one's worth so much more. It's so frustrating because I don't have season 2, and unless I come across it for like $30, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to pay that much for that shit.
Yeah, I should take some pictures and share that since I actually have it. Yeah, to me that was the thing. That was wasn't that one of the first shows Netflix released on physical media?
Probably. And
I
here's
don't
the thing,
feel like they've done much before.
They have that animated series coming out. I don't know when it's premiering, but I wouldn't be surprised if they waited till that was done and tried to put that in a box set with it together, all like the Stranger Things Completes collection.
Yeah,
or
because doesn't
they
that
want
take
people
place?
to come to Netflix
Mhm.
and watch Stranger Things. But at a certain point, if you're not putting out new Stranger Things stuff, it's not a valid reason to make me go subscribe to your shit. Put it out and I'll buy it and give you money directly for that. And I'll probably still be subscribed to Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, there's other shit I want to watch on there. So you're really just going to make money off it as long as you don't mass produce it like you did that fucking first one. You do limited runs. Let somebody do like fucking let Arrow Video put out a cool ass box set of it, or Shout, anybody.
There's a market for it for sure.
Yeah.
So someone's got to do that.
And
it's gonna switch topics if you're ready.
For what? Stranger Things. I was gonna talk about the season 5 stuff, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, jump into it.
So season 5. You watched the trailers, I assume. There was one a few months ago, and there was one like 13 days ago, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting about this season is it's going to pick up. It's probably going to have a time jump between the last season and this one. But this season isn't going to start like every other season where everything's kind of back to normal-ish and something's brewing under the city or, whatever else.
Yeah.
They're already in the fucking shitstorm. So I
Mm-hmm.
think this first episode is going to immediately be like the first scene we see. I think is going to be um, either I guess they've already shown us the first 5 minutes, which is that flashback shit of Will,
Yeah.
which looks a little weird to be honest if you watch that first 5 minutes.
I have not watched that yet, but
It's young Will when he's in the Upside Down, season 1, running
okay.
from Demogorgons, and one of them knocks him out and drags him to Vecna, who's like talking to his unconscious corpse, like, "We're gonna do cool shit together, bro, you and me."
Oh,
And it's a little
okay.
like, I don't need to see this though.
Yeah, retconning. Yeah.
Well, I just don't need to see it. Like, it's implied already, kind of. So I don't
Yeah, I
need
mean,
to see
obviously
it.
that's why he's terrified of it and scared the whole way through. So
Right. And also it just looks weird to see like the computer graphics face Will and shit. You know what I mean? Like that is what looks weirdest in that.
because I'm sure they had to recast him as a young version of him, and then
they
you
just
know,
fucking photoshopped over him like they did 11 last season
yeah,
with his own face, I'm sure. But
yeah. I wish they just had better ways of storytelling than to try to force flashbacks in. Like, I don't need that. Like, have someone reference in a way that doesn't need to be visually shown.
right.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah. We've got all the central cast back. Everybody's worrying about which characters are going to die. They're like, oh my god, people are going to die for sure. I've seen lots of theories thrown around for that. Steve has been one people have been talking about. Lucas.
Okay.
Mike, even Jonathan.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they, you know what I mean? They could slaughter off all kinds of characters. I don't think Hopper's going to make it. I mean, I think that's an obvious one where he sacrifices himself for 11. They've kind of been foreshadowing that forever.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is
So,
like they've done a lot of that, so I don't know if they do it at this point. It would seem a little lame to me, but like at the same time, like I kind of get it. Yeah, I hope Will gets to live because that man's been through way too much shit at this point. Max, she was left in really bad condition at the end of this 4th season, like fucking
yeah,
broken bones and shit, and she's in the hospital. And in the new trailer, you can see like Lucas is carrying her out of the hospital during a Demogorgon attack. So it's like shit is going south, and people have said like, "Oh, she's gonna die," but a lot of people are thinking, "Oh no, they're gonna flip the script and kill him." Because last time we saw her, like she was blind and broken bones and all this shit, and that is depressing.
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to go the hero route for some of this and a lot of self-sacrificing, and we're just going to have to see it.
We've seen before with Bob, because I just watched season 2, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Eddie Munson, and which is funny because it seems like a clear Ghostbusters reference, the burn in hell on his headstone.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Burn in
Fits
hell
the
Munson.
vibe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then I think Lucas's little sister, Erica, is that her name?
Yeah.
I think she's going to have her own group of little friends. There's been some other kids that are cast that I've seen in some of the trailers and stuff, and I think they're around her age. That's what they look like because that group is a little younger, kind of like more like season 2 era, the other kids. And at this point, they better have like Nancy and Jonathan and Steve should not be in high school anymore, bro. The other kids should be like in their last year of high school because they're in their 20s now.
Well, I think weren't they in the college the last couple seasons?
I think maybe the very last one, Jonathan and Nancy finally were, but even in season 3, they weren't. They were about to go in their senior year, I think. And Steve was graduated for sure. I think he might even be a year older than them, though.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think Steve's the one that to expect to see him go, just based on like.
But I love Steve. Like Steve is my reason for watching the show at this point, and it's funny because I don't know. I think I might have to make a video on this. Maybe I think it might be the greatest television character arc of all time.
It's fucking solid, is it not? I mean, like seeing him go from a piece of shit in season 1 to like
Yeah,
being this guy that like gets his heart broken and then fucking finds his people and like becomes a hero. Pretty
yeah,
fucking good.
because by like season 1, most of the time he's just a cringy dickhead. And then you have that scene where
Hmm.
he discovers the photos that were taken of them, and he smashes Jonathan's camera, which like I kind of have to take Steve's side in that. Like
Oh
if you
yeah, for
find
sure.
somebody taking pictures of you banging your significant other, regardless of if their brother is missing for less than a week or not, smashing that camera might be justifiable. So it's like, yeah, he's being a dick there, but that's fucked up. So
I mean, yeah, you're dealing with raw human emotion there. That's
yeah,
I don't think people truly understand
he
that.
starts
So
redeeming himself by the end of that first season already, and then second season starts out a little rough again. But literally by the third season, by the time I was watching, I was like stoked for Steve. You know, like that was my favorite character
hmm,
already going into season 3. So
yeah, he became one of those characters that's he just feels generally relatable and somebody that you see that growth and you see a character redemption like that, and you're like, why can't people do that shit in real life?
yeah,
You know, because we all know assholes, and there's plenty of them that you'd like to see have a redeeming character arc. Like, I don't want villains in real life to stay villains forever. I want some of these people to figure this shit out. I
yeah,
like character growth in real life and in film,
yeah.
TV. That's all. I like character growth just in general for the good of people. So,
um, I gotta say, like I I care the least for Eleven's arc. I don't know. I get it. It's this most like one of the most central characters to the story and everything, but like not one of my favorite characters either.
she's really compelling in season 1. And then, like, the fact that they've always gotta do this stuff to her, like, it's fascinating because I don't think she carries the trauma enough. Like, you gotta realize this character's been through some serious shit, and, like, I don't feel like she carries the trauma enough.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's some of this disconnect. I'm like, "How are you handling all this so well?" I'm like, it just it I mean, we're talking about a crazy sci-fi series, but, like, the believability of that just isn't there because, like, the trauma doesn't always come through for that character, and I think that fucks up the story arc for me a lot.
Mm. I can't even place my finger on exactly why. Just not my favorite character or anything. Don't hate her or anything. Just meh. I think it's just the lack of personality too, to be honest. Because it's just like
Yeah.
she's a robot basically almost all the time, which is understandable, but also like weird. At a certain
I
point, like
mean,
she needs to start speaking in sentences normally and not like skipping words and shit. Like she's an adult now. Come on.
yeah, I mean, you would think by season 4 they got a little bit better with that, but not as much as it needed, right? Again, that goes back to that.
Yeah. Characters I'd like to see back that haven't either been in there in a while or whatever else. But Mr. Clark, their science teacher and AV guy.
That was crazy that he didn't really have more in there later on. Like, he feels like a character that should be kinda backing this stuff up, and I'm hoping since, like, I keep seeing the radio station vans around that somehow he'll have a link to them because he was a good character, like a good not even necessarily like he was just a good side character, right? A
Yeah.
good fill in the story, kind of a go-to, someone that you can relate to and lean on.
And
Good
it was,
performance too.
yeah, he had that scene where he's like, he has a girl over and he's watching the thing and he's explaining the movie and the special effects to her and shit.
Hell yeah, that's so good. So relatable.
But he did pop up in season 3. Um, so my hope is he'll pop up again in season 5.
Now here's a question for you. So we all know the controversial episode of season 2, which is basically the island of misfit toys. Uh, do we think we're going to see any more of these numbered characters?
Oh, no. I would not be thinking about that, no. I think they quickly forgot and dropped that plot line. If anything, they might feel compelled to try to tie that up, but at the same time, they have not revisited 8, I guess is her name. Because even
Yeah.
in season 4, when they went back, 8 wasn't in any of that. That would have been the time to have been like, oh, she's here in the Rainbow Room too. I don't recall seeing her in any of that. They didn't make any big deal out of it. Even if they made like an extra look like her or anything, they didn't point it out. So
I'd just be curious because, the way they're implying that Vecna was there and like this is because of that, the way it's all implied, I'm just like wondering, like, okay, are they going to try to reference any of that elsewhere?
well, I do think they killed most of those people too that were in there with abilities.
Oh, yeah.
Those kids all got almost. I think all of them got murdered basically that were there at the time.
And they could easily
Yeah.
play that out or whatever. Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, she's clearly some sort of badass character. And I don't know if she is a villainous character that's, or I should say, antagonistic character that's sort of like the military
Well,
wanting to cash in on this and rule the city. She might be like the authority figure while they're in quarantine, but she is definitely like a badass, in this of some sort of
yes,
intelligence, authority.
yes. I mean, she's kind of. Is she kind of like this season's Papa? You know what I mean? Like this
Like,
character that's gonna like lean in there and kind of take that role of like,
is Paul Reiser back? I haven't seen
I
him in the
don't know.
trailers, but hopefully he is. I love him in these.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to close some of these things up, and
Or did he die?
I haven't done my rewatch yet, so I honestly.
Yeah, he was in season 4 though. He was still helping
Mm-hmm.
11, so I think he's alive still, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think she could either be that, she could be another figure that's trying to manipulate 11 and the psychic powers type shit and look into that. She could be a military authority figure that's like trying to just keep the city on lockdown because it's clear that the city's in quarantine. They're being held there by the government and possibly Hawkins lab people, but it's like hard to say by the trailers about who is exactly in charge. Like I think it's the U.S. government fully
Yeah, well, and then you
knows
gotta
what's going
wonder.
on there. Like now,
Yeah.
and
And
the
then the
earthquake
interest.
and go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, the earthquake and everything else, and then you gotta wonder, like, are they gonna try to close any of the loops up with any of the Russian stuff, right? They kinda get away from that by the end of season 3 that they don't really talk about that much in season 4 that I recall.
Season 4 has Hopper in a Russian prison the whole season, and they are on the opposite side of the world. And
Oh, that was season 4, okay, for
Joyce
some
and
reason.
what's his face fly across to get him.
Yep.
So the Russian stuff is still going on there. I'd have to watch the season again to see how that closed because that definitely ended. That season ended with them over there still, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember, it's been a minute, I mean, I haven't watched this.
Yeah. I've watched
Stranger
season 4
Th
twice, but
Okay, I've only watched it once, and I watched it right when it all came out, and that was my issue is knowing that I was gonna wait for season 5 to watch it again, and I just never got around to it, right? So, I mean, to me, that's what kinda keeps it magical is being able to watch it without, like, knowing all the details, so, like, I'm still delighted and enjoying it every time I get to watch it, so.
yeah. Well, it's fun rewatching it too because season 3 I think is currently my favorite season. It's like the
Okay.
most fun. It has that Terminator plot. Jim's
Mhm.
walking around in the Magnum PI shirt. It's
Yeah.
the mall subplot and all that fun stuff. Season 4 was good, but I liked it less when I initially watched it. And I think that mainly was because of like, oh, you're retconning it and throwing Vecna and everything. That kind of annoys me. But like, I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do to advance the story somehow. Now I'm kind of just like, whatever. I'll see what you're gonna do with Vecna.
Yeah, that's an interesting character, but
Because we had Robert
right.
Englund season 4.
Yeah, very briefly. Yeah,
playing
he
that guy who
wasn't.
killed his family.
Uh-huh.
So it's like you look back and they've got some excellent guest casts throughout this that represent 80s culture at the time, which is fascinating. Like obviously Linda
Mhm.
Hamilton, Robert Englund,
Yeah.
Sean Astin,
Yeah, no, the casting is very intentional.
like Paul Reiser from Aliens and shit. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
I
And
love that.
so I just wonder, right, because season 2 was rushed, right? And then after that, they said, "We're never gonna rush this again." So, like, did they outline the rest of the series? Because
I
I
don't
feel
think
like it
so.
was around
I don't think they could have because they should have been laying seeds for Vecna sooner during season 3 if they knew they were going to go that route. Is my opinion.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm basing it on that just because logically, like it's like fucking Thanos. You know, if you knew that's what you're going to do, you should have been hinting at it all along. Because season
Yeah.
1, there's no hint of anything intelligent going on. The main villain is the one Demogorgon,
Yeah.
and then season 2, well, the Demogorgon, and then the antagonist of the Hawkins Lab people and Papa. Season 2,
Mhm.
you have the Hawkins Lab people, but they're more of allies at that point, and Paul Reiser's sort of in charge over there. And the Mind Flayer, the Demo Dogs, more Demogorgons. The Mind Flayer at that point, though, is not successful in what it does. They get the gate closed at the end of season 2. And then season 3,
Mhm.
it is successful by using Billy instead of Will. And it becomes like an actual blob in their world and shit and is doing all that shit. So it's like the Mind Flayer, if you're telling me the Mind Flayer is just Vecna that whole time, which makes sense, you know, in season 2 when you see Will and he's always talking about he likes it cold, he's talking about Vecna
Mhm.
through the Mind Flayer, I guess, through Will. It's just like a
And I
lot of stuff you have to connect, and it's not that far of a stretch.
No, but I feel like they're gonna fill some of those gaps in, and then
Yeah.
the animated series, does that take place between seasons 2 and 3? Is that correct? Is that what I saw?
What's it called? Stranger Things 85?
Yeah.
Adventures of 85? So season 2 is 84, Halloween of 84. And season 3 is July of 85. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think it's going to take place leading up to that and maybe after that. We'll see what happens. They might do some. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not crazy about the animation style just because I think it was a missed opportunity to do 80s style animation. Um, you know, X-Men 97. They could have done something similar to that that would have just been like, all right, this evokes it enough. But instead, they were like, let's make it look like all the new modern animation, like the Ninja Turtles movie and Spider Verse and all that stuff. Which it's a great animation style. I get it, but
Yeah, I think that's gonna take away from the '80s vibe of that, just because,
yeah.
to your point, they should have done it simplified, but I think
But I think they
with
want to
this
capture a modern child audience, not us, with that show.
that's who they're looking for, but, I mean, who is that episode for? Is this because they realized there's so much shit they need to shoehorn in, they had to do an animated series for it because de-aging everyone for an entire season of a show is impossible?
No, I think Netflix asked them. I think I've seen the interview where they said like Netflix asked us at one point, "What is there anything else we can do with this?" And they were like, "Number one thought for us was an animated, you know, like 80s style TV show."
Okay. And maybe they mean that by the writing and the styling because the animation style does not lend itself towards that from what I've seen,
Yeah,
right? I mean, you're looking at a series that's gonna have a lot of
it's
dark
gonna have a lot
stuff,
of
right?
dark stuff, contrasty stuff. Um, you know, it would be really perfect is like Stranger Things animated by the company that did Men in Black and Extreme Ghostbusters,
That would be legit.
or shit, the people who did Batman the animated series even. Like, those are more
Yeah.
90s, but like still, they executed like the dark atmosphere of an animated show so
They
well
did a
in those
really
3
good job of
programs.
the
Yeah.
of the contrast and the darkness that you would
Gargoyles.
need.
That's
Yeah.
another one. Like those shows are
Oh.
so fucking sick and goth looking and
And
it just works.
I feel like they could have gotten away going with that early '90s animation style and claiming it as 80s for the situation the show is looking for there.
For sure, because season 5 is, I think, 1987 at this point.
So what's fascinating to me about going back and doing an animated series that takes place between 2 seasons is, like, how compelling of a TV show can this be? Because we're gonna have the full story all the way through to the end before we get this animated series.
Yeah. I think it's
So
going to be unconnected, kind of like it's going to be
in
inconsequential
continuity,
shit.
but okay. Yeah, and that's what I've been feeling that too, and, like, that's slightly disappointing, but at the same time, I get it because
It's like,
it's a very niche thing to do, and it's like, how are you gonna make this work?
well, that's the thing, is I think it almost has to be like an 80s cartoon where things are wildly different from the show universe and it's not the same universe. Like real Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtles. Like Ninja Turtles came before the cartoon, but you could just do unrelated shit, or like Beetlejuice, for example. Motherfuckers were friends with Beetlejuice in that show. Beetlejuice was a protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't how it works, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna watch it just because I've enjoyed everything Stranger Things so far.
I'll
So
probably watch the first episode and determine if I'll watch the rest of it, but yeah.
you know what I still haven't finished, but they renewed for a season 2?
Mm.
Alien Earth.
Yeah, I never finished it. I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes and was like, ugh.
I'm down to the last episode of the season, so I'm like, I'm just gonna watch it to get to it. But when did that come out? In August?
Yeah.
It's now November, and I still haven't even gotten around to finishing it. Like,
I
just
liked the aesthetic and I liked some certain things about it, but certain things about it turned me off so bad. Like that, there's the plot of the cancer kids basically being in fucking robots. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this? Make a different show. This isn't Alien. This is Cancer Robot Kids, the show.
that's fucked up. But yeah,
I
I
mean,
would agree
I'm
with that
sorry,
sentiment.
but like,
No,
it's
no,
true.
that's
Like, it's goofy as hell. Who in
yeah.
their fucking right mind like thinks this is a good idea? I mean, maybe if you were making a kids show, but even then, it's too dark to do kids about like kids dying and then putting them in robot bodies. That's a fucked up concept. But it's
Mhm.
not dark enough as an adult show because the kids are now just like making fart jokes and shit and
Well, it's
battling
weird to
aliens. Like, fuck out of here.
yeah, it's a giant misfire for the franchise as far as I'm concerned. But
Predator Badlands, I haven't seen, but I've been
been dying
interested
to
in.
see that. But everyone says it's pretty good, and like I watched the animated movie that kind of has some of the precursor stuff to this movie, from what I understand, and
I'm
need to see that
mainly
too.
interested because what's her face is playing Wayland Yutani android.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's basically an alien android versus Predator in this movie. That's why I want to see it, because it's kind of like an Alien sequel too.
Mm-hmm.
And the universes have been connected for so long. So
Yeah. Gremlins 3.
Joe Dante directs, or we riot.
Joe Dante has basically said they didn't even approach him for it. They just approached Chris Columbus right away. Because Joe Dante hasn't wanted to do a sequel, is basically what he's been saying since Gremlins 2.
Joe Dante has been publicly seen with Zach Galligan talking about trying to make Gremlins 3.
Yeah.
Recently. And also, Zach Galligan, or we riot. Now, I understand Phoebe Cates isn't acting anymore. I would say the same if she was.
Yeah.
I would like to see her back too, for the hell of it, but understand. But Zach Galligan, if you don't get him back, I don't know if I'm seeing it. I don't know.
And not to be a dick, but he's going to be cheap. Like, I can't imagine you do a story without him. Even if you got to have it be about him still having the Mogwai and whatever else you're going to do with it.
Right.
But like
make the story
took
about
care
him
of that.
Being fucking, since Phoebe Cates can't act anymore. The movie starts out with just him and Gizmo alone at home.